Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only, it doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
We have a video of you playing as a child. You were playing back in the day with your dad.
You caught another snake.
That's good, sweetheart. You go put it in the suit with the other ones. And get inside.
Dad
and
called you sweetheart. There you are. Let's see if this picks up. I'm just curious. You can hear this, right?
Yeah.
Really, if we get copyrighted.
We will.
Yeah, but this is music. Me podcast you listen on a day you're driving home.
Looking over the shoulder, suspect who got next game, hanging us by.
You recognize this guy?
The sound.
Wondering who's this new Alice. Check 1 2 1 2.
Do you recognize the voice?
I do.
Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill, yeah.
But it's part of Rage Against the Machines and called Prophets of Rage.
Yeah, they teamed up for a while, didn't they?
Yep. I listen to this when I work out and I get all angry and I start punching people and I'm running around. And they're like, what are you listening to? All hail to the chief.
Did they, that was short-lived, wasn't it? Didn't they
Prophets of Rage? Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Yeah, didn't one of them get back together with the regular? I don't know if it was Rage, because I know Zach De La Roche spent some time in prison, but what's the other one? Cypress Hill. I think Cypress Hill maybe reformed.
Yeah, I don't know. Cypress Hill they go out and do what do you call it? They go out and do concerts now. So they're up there.
Rock the vote.
Yeah. Rock the vote. I just want to say hail to the chief, since this has been an interesting week. We had an assassination attempt again on our president.
Part 2.
President to be, Mr. Trump, playing golf just impromptu. Just, hey, guess what? I'm just going to go play golf, Secret Service. You guys figure it out. And they have to run around on a golf course and try to make sure no one's going to try to kill him.
So now this has been going on from like the liberal side, and it's really hard to tell if my other friend's brother is just, he doesn't know what to believe, or because he's got friends that are like liberal. His first inclination was this was a fake, like a fake attempt. Like,
oh, he thought this was another way to get
so
attention.
Like he thinks the Trump side is now faking assassination. And
I kind of thought the same thing. I thought, well, this is kind of odd that the part that's odd.
It's not shot this time. So, okay, that's one thing. Okay. But like the last time, that's a stretch to think you're going to take I don't care if they could say, oh, he's a great shot from there. If I'm Trump, let alone I'm probably not running again. If this is like real people just driving you for 4 years, but like, I'm not taking a shot towards my head, let alone through the ear. So that's the first thing I said. Make it make sense. If you're raving about, because your buddies are telling you this and then you don't know what to believe. If they're going to believe that they're going to do that, but they wouldn't believe that someone could have did the JFK thing or the 9/11 thing, then you could believe whatever you want to believe, basically, at that point, but make it make sense. Doesn't make, the first one doesn't make sense. This, how the hell would you know? Yes, but the first one is ridiculous because now you're killing people too. And I get that. If you're still using that logic, then why aren't you if you're on the left side, why aren't you believing the 9/11 attacks or what are the other thing? And most of the time they don't. They're, that's not, so when it suits whatever narrative you want to think it is, you're going to believe it, but you won't believe some of the other ones. So it's like
the part that I don't understand is they said, hey, he wasn't supposed to be out there. And so some guy just goes out there 12 hours prior to the whole thing and just waits around for him to show up. That's the part that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Ukraine, BlackRock ties with the other guy, which is really weird because they're both in video. I don't know what the hell that means. If we even mention their name, I don't want to become a target of them. But apparently that's some. They're like the power brokers of the world, like both, apparently them, Rockefeller, all that type of stuff. So
I don't.
if you believe they're in this video, that's the thing. Like, oh, they're in the video. They have these ties to basically. New World Order, maybe. I don't know.
Somehow, some way, someone knew he was going to be out there. And
I mean, it could be inside tipped. I mean, think about this. That was the other thing that makes sense. They weren't recording any rallies at all of Trump's, but the first assassination attempt, all the media outlets supposedly are recording that day. You heard that story, right?
No, but this is what I thought of when I heard that someone at the golf course was waiting for Trump. I thought of Caddyshack and Bill when he's waiting for the gopher. Remember this part?
It's been a long time since I've seen this once, but I was really young.
Can you hear it?
Not really, no.
Oh, you can't hear it? Hold on,
no.
I gotta go back to doing the share so you can hear it. Because that's the best part.
Yeah, because
he goes freeze gopher. That's what
yeah.
The first thing I thought about. That's the first thing I thought about when I heard about it. Some guy at the golf course is waiting through a fence.
Wouldn't you think it would be? Wouldn't you think it'd be more annoying to just be like the Happy Gilmore heckler and just pop out of the bushes every time Trump was about to shoot?
Well, that's the thing is
you suck, jackass, and then he screws up his shot.
He didn't shoot anybody, but the Secret Service. They said the Secret Service guy saw him and just shot at him.
But he's not. But I know that's weird, but like he's not charged with an assassination attempt either, because technically he didn't do anything. So what is he charged with? Just on a golf course with a weapon?
I don't know, man. They're not gonna let this one slide.
It shouldn't, but like technically I've seen the charge.
They're not gonna let this one slide. That's why the Secret Service guy was like, "Who is that? Hey," just start shooting. It's like, "Hey, I was looking for my ball.
I was just trying. Have you seen Happy Gilmore? I was just trying to heckle him by calling him jackass.
I lost my ball. I was on the fairway. I didn't know where it was.
You suck, jackass."
Yeah,
imagine Happy Gilmore.
That would have been funny.
Just shoots him.
Someone gets arrested for verbally attacking the president, just yelling at him the whole time.
Just yelling at him, trying to fuck up his 18 holes.
The part I loved the most is I was listening to the press conference, and they had the sheriff of Florida, wherever this is at. And this guy goes,
West Palm Beach, Florida, I think.
He gets up there and he's like, "Listen, we're going to talk about what happened. We're going to talk about it. And then you're all going to get questions. But we're not going to do a bunch of questions. And you're only going to get a certain amount of questions. And that's it.
And it's only going to be on some stuff. It's only going to be on the stuff we've told you."
Yeah.
So
don't try to answer questions.
Anything else.
And then he's like, "All right, time for questions here." He's like, "Whoa, hold on. Wait your turn. What I tell you guys," it's like a little guy, it was like someone lecturing to the children. What I tell you guys, we're not going to answer a bunch of questions.
I seen the beginning of what you're talking about. That was it.
So then everybody starts asking questions, and then he goes, "All right, you get two more. You next, and then you." So they ask their questions, and the second guy starts asking those questions, and some girl in the back's like, "What about that?" And he goes, "Oh, trying to sneak one in there, didn't you?" So it just sounded.
Welcome to the world of politics, Sheriff.
It just sounds so. I don't know. Like you said, it just, if that's the way it's gonna be, who wants to be president if everybody's just gonna try to shoot you all the time? So
think about it. Why? He's rich. He's got I don't know how many years younger than him, like younger wife. What the hell does he need to do this for? I mean, I just thought if he was going to do anything, he'd sponsor somebody or whatnot, but
sponsored by Trump.
Like DeSantis or
President Eric, sponsored by Trump. Yeah. Got a little shirt that says Trump. Sponsored
podcast you listen, sponsored by Donald Trump.
Sponsored by Trump.
Sponsored by the Donald Trump for President Foundation.
But it is funny that you said that, because the first thing I thought was, Wonder if
I
this
didn't say it.
Wonder if no, but you said your brother
Yeah,
said it.
well, no,
It just made
my
just,
friend's brother. He
It just made me think, what if this was like a, because it did. It sounds completely odd that it's not on a schedule. No one knew he was going to be there other than the Secret Service himself and whoever else he knows. And someone just happens to be there for 12 hours to hang out at a golf course waiting for you. That just seems odd. That's the part,
obviously
that's the part
somebody
that seems odd.
somebody can inside tip, or somebody, if they want to do it, they obviously know
Well,
where
I
he
don't
is
know,
at all
man.
time. You really think it would be that hard to find him if they wanted to send some cronies after him?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what I said. It just
Yeah.
seemed really. Now the next new. This is our.
I mean, how would we even know anything, really? I mean, to be honest with you, we don't.
This is our current events section. Did you hear about the Israel putting all those bombs in those pagers?
Yeah,
blowing up the. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah,
that's some crazy shit, man.
Wasn't that like Lebanon or something?
It's just amazing that they order something on Amazon, they get them shipped to all these people.
Like, it sounds like they're trying to kill you right now.
Yeah, they order these things on Amazon. I'm sorry, I smell
what's this white powder coming into this room?
Yeah, hey, who's that? I heard
half of me podcast you listen.
You just have to wait for the one recording.
Just wait. I think it's just going to end, but we don't know if this will really save.
But still, man, exploding pagers is what it was. And they exploded in how many people? Like 3,000 people or something?
I don't know what's fun. I don't even know that's possible. I guess someone.
How did they did that, right? It's just crazy.
I've heard of exploding cell phones, but that's like in like movies, like I don't know if it's Bond or whatever, and a cell phone explodes, kills the guy or something. But like, can they really do that?
It just seems that's what it means. Can you really do this? And then when someone told me this yesterday, I didn't see this. Someone told me this yesterday, so I watched the video of it, and the thing was crazy. This dude's just picking out oranges.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
And he's just sitting there.
This one.
It just blows up, and
his bag explodes, doesn't it? It's like in a bag.
Crap.
Now is he like severely injured? Is he screaming down there?
I don't know. They don't have sound, but it did kill people, whatever the hell they put in those pagers. But that's crazy.
I guess this is if they ever try to give you a free pager somewhere, don't take it.
Yeah, don't order pagers. First of all, who's ordering pagers? I mean, what do we know? 1990s where they had hello. That's what's going to be written in the little numbers to say upside down. What's the spell? Hello. So I saw that on current events.
It'll probably get a page that says goodbye on it. You better throw the fucking damn thing immediately.
That's like Mission Impossible shit that was just going on. I mean, to the world, when you start listening to the president's election stuff, and then you see shit like that, you're like, man, it's crazy what the hell is going on. Lastly, did you see the meteor? The meteor.
Was it you sent me that? That's supposed to be skimming the earth or something? You were saying
it was supposed to hit the earth. They said stadium size. I mean, the first thing you see.
We're going away, folks.
Yeah, the first thing you see on there is stadium size meteor heading towards Earth, and you're like, what? So then you look it up, and they say, yeah, it's just gonna skim by you. It's not gonna get you completely. So you're like, what the hell? Why'd you say it like that? Because we wanted to scare the shit out of you.
Because it was clickbait, yes.
So I pulled up the actual meteors, the video of it going by the Earth is not behind me. That's just another picture. But I did pull up one for us to watch so you could see it. It's pretty cool. You will catch it. And here it is.
I know this is. I know it's going to be something.
It's meteor. There's us defending the Earth. Defending the Earth right now. Get back. Listen to that noise. When you played this game, that noise made you stress out. Little alien action.
Oh fuck! There's aliens coming too. Besides,
meteors. Shit. Then there's a couple of meteors. Oh, listen. This is when it's getting closer. Everybody starts running. Oh fuck! There's an alien now. Get back! Get back!
Sounds like
man. Get it before it gets hurt.
sounds like
We did it.
Jaws in the form of that wasn't even 8-bit, was it? That was whatever the hell that was, 2-bit. Whatever the fuck
Didn't you
that
play it?
is.
Didn't you play that game?
For Atari? Yeah, I probably have. I don't
I think
remember
it
if I owned it, or was
was-
that in arcades you're talking about?
No, we played it on Atari.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Didn't you play it on Atari? It was Asteroids.
Asteroids. I probably played it. I don't think I remember.
It was
how
like the
long.
worst Atari game ever.
I don't think I ever owned it.
How could you?
I wouldn't say that.
You didn't say that's the worst. That's not the
There's
worst
some
Atari game.
horrible Atari games I remember having.
Name one that's worse than Asteroids.
Or unless I'm thinking of Nintendo.
10-yard fight was a horrible one too.
Yeah, there were
a 10-yard
there were-
fight.
I know one of the worst video games of all time is like John Elway football. All it does was just a hike, and then they all fucking went into a big ball. And I'm like, what the hell just happened there? Why did I spend fucking $40 on this
When
shit?
I was in school, I made a video game, and it was the 80s. So I made a video game, and it takes a lot of work to make
Tecmo Bowl?
to make this root beer slide across the counter, fill up with root beer without completely messing up, and then going. So when I realized how hard it makes, I got more respect for these really crappy Atari games used to buy, like Asteroids. Pitfall was probably the best Atari game. Pitfall and Zelda.
River Raid was one of my
Zelda
favorites.
was Nintendo, but Pitfall was a kick-ass game.
Pitfall was Atari. River Raid was Atari. That was fun.
Remember Outlaw?
It's just in there.
The cowboy draw game where you just had to like shoot him. you just
I think I remember seeing it.
You had a little gun with a big ass long cord attached to the Atari, and you're like,
I remember the sports ones were always fun, but like I remember in the basketball, you would be beating the computer by 20, and then the Atari computer would just shake like uncontrollably, like this isn't supposed to be happening, and then it'll just go nuts on you, and it's like, okay.
Now that we're taking the turn, the 10 worst Atari 2600 games ever made. Here we go.
know we thought you were going to be talking about Beetlejuice.
We will talk about Beetlejuice. It's not that exciting. But
I did not see it, so we'll rely.
No,
on you.
but we got to talk about McMahon too. That's coming up.
Yeah, that is coming up
Firefly. Here's
next
my
week,
friend.
too.
Firefly. I've never heard of Firefly. Starship. Ooh, Karate is not the worst game. Karate was cool.
Is that the two like guys that are just?
Yeah, you're just doing the little foot
They
sweeps
look
the whole
like
time.
They look like angles.
Yeah, Karate was kick ass. So I don't know why that would be listed in the worst games. It just sounds like someone's just bitter because they couldn't get to the final stages of Karate.
I like.
That was the other thing too, is you couldn't do cheat codes in Atari, not like they did with Nintendo.
I did. I even like Title Match Pro Wrestling. I think that was one of the last.
So
games
first
for
one
Atari.
was I Want My Mommy. What
that?
the hell? Who-
What the hell?
I
Well,
want
you know
my
what?
mommy.
You know, it probably is an ET, one of the worst ones.
I want my mommy.
That's got to be number
Dude,
one.
ET was kick ass.
No, dude.
Oh, that just sounds freaking
That's
annoying already.
Very loud, yeah.
Oh
Our
god,
head-
that was
our
just
head-
like
Our headphones were not made for those sounds.
So I want my mommy looks a lot like
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. So Mr. Dew's Castle looks a lot
Mr.
like
D, Mr. D's Castle, starring
Mr.
Sam
Dew's.
from Different Strokes.
Mr. Dew's Castle looks a lot like
Donkey Kong
Donkey
again.
Kong. Holy crap, they look like Donkey Kong.
They're all Donkey Kong
Tic-tac-toe.
ripoffs.
I would agree. Tic-tac-toe was one of the worst freaking games for Atari 2600.
Well, how can it be? You kind of know what you're getting into, right? It's just tic-tac-toe.
Firefighter. That was the way they bred us to be excited to be firefighters. Was to show fire.
Was Rampage
Wait,
an
look
Atari
at that.
game, or is that Nintendo?
Look at that. You're just putting out fires.
That's it. Paperboy.
That's the
I heard-
whole game. No, Paperboy was badass, dude. Space
I
Jockey.
heard Paperboy was horrible. I never played
Space
it.
Jockey looks a lot like Defender. Capture the Flag. That's probably one of the worst games too.
That looks like Connect 4.
Bugs for Atari. I don't even remember that game. Karate,
but it's not bugs. It's the whole game has bugs in it. That's why
this
the
is
screen
not.
looked
This
like
is
that.
not what I thought karate was. This is this. You got to see this up close.
This is awful. I think I actually played this game.
Did you actually have this game?
Yeah, that's cover looks very familiar. If I didn't own it, I rented it.
You didn't rent Atari 2600 games.
There were
Look at
stores.
this. Look at the little underwears they're wearing. Look at that. Oh, that is horrible.
Yeah, that is awful. What are they doing with their hands there?
They're doing this. They're throwing their hands around and they got little undies on. Let's hear the sound. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, that's like bugs.
Dude, that is a terrible game. I have to agree. That is one of the worst games.
That is pretty
for
bad.
Atari.
What's the triumph?
Starship.
Like,
Starship was a bad one, and number one is Firefly.
E.T.
Dude, E.T. is not a bad Atari game.
Dude, you know what happened?
Oh,
great.
Now I gotta watch Trump. What the?
I am Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Yeah, I approve that we like E.T. better than Firefly.
They threw all the leftover E.T. video games in a dump somewhere.
Check that game out.
What is that?
This is the video games. If anybody's watching this and didn't know what the struggles we went through as children, this is the video games that we had to play.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was nothing exciting on these video games.
Pong. We played Pong.
Now this game was fun,
and we're very excited when we played it.
This was Nintendo. When Nintendo came out, shit got real.
We went crazy. Yeah, we were like, "Holy shit! Look at this compared to Atari."
Check out Donkey Kong, dude, or ColecoVision.
Donkey Kong 3.
Yeah, look at the. Yeah,
they're hitting him right in the dick.
Yeah.
What the hell? Look at that. No wonder he's screaming. Look at him.
What the hell is that?
If you had any viewers, we'd strike you for saying the name Dick.
You said Dick.
You'll slide since we only had 13 views last episode.
So during this time of all these current events, I went to see a movie for the second time this year. The second time I've been in an actual movie theater, and I went to see the Beetlejuice movie. Now, first of all, are you a Beetlejuice fan?
I don't think I even seen the first one. It's in its entirety, to be honest with you. Yeah, I heard it's good, but
so questions.
Don't remember it. I can't say I've ever seen it.
So Beetlejuice is a spin-off of the first Beetlejuice, featuring Michael Keaton, directed by Tim Burton. And Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara are the cast that are in this movie from the original Beetlejuice. Now, the husband, I don't remember his name. I think he died. Did he die for reals?
What was his name?
Are you eating?
No, I'm not eating. I was drinking.
What was his name? Tell me his name. So he was the guy. I just watched him last night. I watched on Howard the Duck. His name is, I didn't know. I forgot Alec Baldwin was in the original Beetlejuice. Jeffrey Jones.
Wednesday Addams is in it.
Jeffrey Jones is, I think he
Jeffrey Jones. I think he
passed away. So Jeffrey Jones was, let me make sure before we say someone's passed away, like we did with Max Headroom. And then
90% of the episode this guy died. Then we had to retract it.
I think he died. Oh, here, I guess he's alive. He's still alive.
See?
So he was not invited back for the original Beetlejuice. To show you who he is, I will share with you my screen. Jeffrey Jones, you'll see him. He was in Howard the Duck, the original movie.
Only on Me Podcast you listen. Do we give Howard the Duck enough
Jeffrey
press for you to go watch
Jones is the guy right here. You see him in the corner. You've seen this guy in many movies.
Your square takes him up.
Jeffrey Jones. You've seen him in several movies. Here
Rooney?
he is. Here he is in
Rooney?
Beetlejuice. Yeah, he's from what do you call
Rooney? Remember?
Yeah,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
he was the principal from
He
Ferris
was
Bueller's
yeah,
Day
I think
Off.
it was Rooney. I think Principal
So-
Rooney or whatever.
The first thing I thought of, they killed him in the movie. If anybody's spoiler alert, he dies in the movie. So then I thought he was dead, but he was the original dad. And this is Jeffrey portrayed Charles, the Patrick of Dietz family, with Beetlejuice being one of the most famous acting credits to date.
What could he have possibly been doing? What did they just not like him? Like, I mean, was he too old to be in a movie again? Like, what could he possibly have pissed off to say to Tim Burton to say,
You're not allowed back in Beetlejuice.
You're still alive, but we don't really want to use you.
So
You're
it says
dead.
director Tim Burton hasn't officially commented on Jeffrey's absence, but it turns out he was responsible for pitching Charles' animated plane crash and shark attack sequence. The fact this tragic storyline led to their powerful generations of Dietz women coming together even better. Have you watched Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice, share your comments. So I guess they thought it sounded better not to have him in the movie, but he's kind of a main character of the show. So right away, when he wasn't in it, it was kind of like, and he got attacked by a shark. So they didn't even have him like dead as a character, because in Beetlejuice, people die and they come and they stay in the little world, the dead world. So
if he died, he'd actually been in the movie more.
No, because when he
what you're
died, because
saying?
what happened is he got eaten by a shark. And of
Okay.
course, this whole body, half his body got eaten by a shark. So you didn't see him, nor was his voice in the movie. Nothing about him was in the movie. So that was kind of lame.
Well, especially if he's still alive. I mean,
the premises is Winona Ryder, who is the original from Beetlejuice, has a daughter, which is Wednesday, the girl, Jennifer Ortega.
Jenny Ortega.
She's the daughter, and then the mother still sees ghosts, and she has a show that she does, podcast or a TV show about seeing people with ghosts.
Winona's mother, you mean?
Winona herself.
Oh, her
mother is still an artsy person doing the art stuff and all that. So it sounds like they try to make like a women's, like 3 women get together to fight Beetlejuice. Well, Beetlejuice shows up in it probably shortly after. I don't know. I want to say it was like almost 20. You see glimpses of him, but then it takes like almost 20 minutes before he becomes the character in the movie. And the thing is there's another person that's chasing Beetlejuice, and it's his ex-wife. We don't know who the fuck that is, but it's his ex-wife is coming to get Beetlejuice. She's dead. She's like a vampire.
Is this fucking the movie up for me if I ever see it?
No, because you're gonna see it, but I mean, you don't know how it's gonna end. But the show,
I expected you to say, "Well, motherfucker, if you haven't seen Beetlejuice, the first one by now, it'll be."
You'll have to watch Beetlejuice in order to understand what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's basically a spin-off of that, and they're basically mourning the death of their dad, and then Beetlejuice comes back because there's a situation that happens between her daughter, which is a younger girl, and they need Beetlejuice's help, and it goes back to almost the same thing she needed his help to save her, which was Alec Baldwin and whoever the other lady was in the beginning. They were like their spirits are being taken. He said, "I have to marry you. She have to marry me in order for me to help you." Kind of the same premise of the second one, except this time it's for her daughter. Her daughter gets in a situation. I won't tell you what it is, but she gets in a situation that Beetlejuice has to help because it's part of the world of the dead that's interfering. The thing that's probably going to be like the Minions in Despicable Me is going to be those characters in the background with you with the little teeny heads. Those are going to be the main characters. No, other side there, over there. There you go. Kind of. Yeah. That guy. That's probably there. There's a bunch of them in this movie. They all work for Beetlejuice. Funny. They don't say anything, but they're all part of like they're part of they're in the movie a lot. So
were they in the first Beetlejuice or no?
Yeah, so like he sits next to this dude on when he first I think I can't remember. He's sitting next to this dude, but it's not them in a suit. it's a like a voodoo looking guy with his head shrunk, right?
Yeah.
And so these guys got his head shrunk because he was in some voodoo guy did it to him. And then you just saw that character. And let me see if I can pull it up. But the original movie, that guy shows up for like a moment. And that's why I was kind of shocked. With that they were kind of almost main characters in this movie. So, and they called that guy Bob, which was funny.
How'd you like to be Jeffrey Jones? Like, you're not coming back, but this weird one-off character with the shrunken head is going to take your place.
This is the scene. This is the scene. Let me see if I can pull up the scene. Yeah, it's right here. So this is the scene with Beetlejuice, the original, and the character that's there who they call Bob. But he's like a shrunken head dude, and he looks like he's like a guy who went on a, he got a witch doctor dude shrunk.
Bob the Goon from Batman.
So here it is.
Women. I don't know what her problem is.
See, this is the only part of the scene that you actually see them.
Then they become
so he's waiting.
Characters.
He's waiting in the line because he has to go meet the person about the afterlife. So this guy's next to him, right?
Did you do that?
Like a voodoo guy.
Very nice work. Let me ask you something. How do you get him down so small? Hey, there goes Elvis. You okay?
So he's got a little tiny head. Now this is in the end of the movie of Beetlejuice.
Good thing too.
And this is now the main characters. They're like a huge character in the entire movie.
Doing some kind of underwear deal. I don't know what.
So this part's kind of funny.
What are you doing? Hey, stop it! Hey, you're messing up here! Come on! Whoa! Hey.
So, anyways,
You shrink some smaller than the other guy.
You should watch Beetlejuice if you've never seen it. It'll make.
I don't remember that.
It'll make more sense to you to watch Beetlejuice, the first one, to make more sense of what the story is, because it's almost the same show, same movie, different storyline.
Okay, so for a novice or someone who has no clue what the hell a Beetlejuice is, what is Beetlejuice in a nutshell?
So Beetlejuice is like a character in the first movie. He's basically like a dead guy, and in the first movie there's a setup of a model of a town, and he lives in the town. Winona Ryder, who played the daughter, originally she was the same age as Jenna Ortega is in this movie. She went upstairs, she saw it, and Beetlejuice, if you say his name 3 times, he comes to basically the real life. He comes to life.
Yeah.
And he causes havoc, and he does stuff that's kind of like, I don't know, it's not good. They basically don't want Beetlejuice. So the first movie is the 2 people who died in the home still live in the spirit world. They're kind of stuck in between. They're not in heaven and they're not in hell. They're kind of stuck in this thing, which is like where Beetlejuice was waiting in that scene.
Yeah.
And so they stayed in the house. They're trapped in the house. Well, that's when Winona Ryder sees them and realizes who they are. And they were going to use Beetlejuice to help them with their afterlife.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is only about Beetlejuice. He takes care. So it's kind of like a character who just does mischievous things for himself. And so the first movie, Beetlejuice is kind of a bad guy, but then at the end, he becomes a good guy because he helps with the afterlife. He's like part of the undead.
Yeah.
Or not the undead, but he's part of the dead world. And everybody, Alec Baldwin and them were dead during that time, and they have to go on and pass on, but they can't until whatever happens. So now this movie, Beetlejuice is still around. Winona Ryder, her little relationship with him from the first movie didn't end well. So now he's back and she sees him, but it doesn't really make sense why she sees him, other than when her daughter gets in trouble, she now needs help from Beetlejuice because he's kind of like the master of the underworld, basically the dead world. So he needs the help. So then he comes back to help. So Beetlejuice is just the name that they gave him, and then you have to say it 3 times and he shows up. But he's just when the first movie they announced, like, you don't want this guy. He's kind of like the bad guy who comes around and does stupid shit to people. And I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. The first one, he was just kind of that guy.
So He's basically Jim Carrey.
I don't know. I think Jim Carrey was supposed to be Beetlejuice. I mean, Michael Keaton, his Michael
Feels
Keaton,
like that's what the mask is with Jim Carrey. So it feels like that's what, like they summon him and here's this total goofball.
So to kind of go through Beetlejuice, let's see what the character of it is. Beetlejuice is a trickster and a mischievous ghost. He's a main antagonist of the first Beetlejuice movie and is the main protagonist of the animated TV series, which they had a cartoon series of this shit once it came out. And then that's kind of what he is in this second
Was it
one.
voiced by Michael Keaton or
no?
I don't think it
But
would.
you
be
can see
time.
can see Beetlejuice at Universal Studios. I mean, it was a huge thing. I'm surprised you didn't see it when you were younger, because Beetlejuice the movie was like a big deal back then. I mean, he's still at Universal Studios. He's still kind of a well-known character. People see them. They still dress up for Halloween. So this movie, again, for people
I just don't. Thinking back, I'm like, it was just bizarre looking. I just never seen the appeal of it. Michael Keaton's always a fun actor, obviously, in whatever he's doing. It's just, for some reason, I think he was doing so many different movies. It's just like, oh, what the fuck's this? Man, I just never seen it. Like,
it's a good movie. You should see Beetlejuice. It's right up there with Gung Ho and Mr. Mom. You never seen Gung Ho either?
Gung Ho, the G.I. Joe Marine.
Gung Ho, the movie about the car dealership. You've never seen that?
Look at your little hats. That's the only Gung Ho I know. From the G.I. Joe PSA.
You gotta, dude. You were deprived. You were deprived as a child of any type of fun.
I told you what type of movies I was watching.
What'd you do? Did you just play with wooden blocks with wheels attached to them as cars? And they're like, go outside and play with snakes.
No, I mean, I was probably playing a lot of video games during that time, but we would just watch bizarre horror. My next oldest brother, he would just rent the goofiest, ridiculous horror films from the video store. There are video stores that exist for folks who are not old enough who could be watching this, but there were video stores, and you would somehow end up with the worst. I know my dad would just always rip my brother's selection of movies, like whatever he breaks. He's just maligning it every time because he knows it's going to be horrible.
I could see, since based on our last one, when you said your brother he burned down a place, you guys probably just that's probably what you guys did. You guys just probably play with matches a lot, huh?
I didn't do anything. Like I said, I was a visual learner. I was 4 years younger than him.
I was a visual learner.
So when he would get in trouble throwing rocks at cars, I'd be like, "What the fuck? I ain't ever doing that." Yeah, the police caught him and his friends or something. And I don't remember if my dad what he did during that, but he would do some stupid shit. Poured gas. He was with his girlfriend and poured gasoline on a live fire in the back. I don't know how the hell that can didn't explode. But my dad told the story that he came in with my brother and his girlfriend came in and they were like chalk white.
As we wrap it up, we have a video of you playing as a child. I know you're going to like this. This is you as a child when you were playing back in the day with your dad.
You caught another snake.
That's good, sweetheart. You go put it in the pit with the other ones. And get inside.
Dad called you sweetheart. There you are out there playing in the desert.
Put it in the pit with another one. No, I grew up in the Chicago area. I wasn't in Arizona yet. I wasn't getting my G.I. Joes blown up like your brother.
Maybe we should have a podcast called Childhood Memories by MC and Coach JC.
What it's like to grow up in Chicago and Phoenix.
Totally different. All right. Well, that's me podcast. You listen. Thanks for listening to us rant about current events and Beetlejuice. Tune in next time. I think we're going to watch the Vince McMahon bio, whatever is coming out on Netflix.
That's the 25th or something, isn't it? Coming up?
It came out today, I think, the 19th. You might want to check.
For real?
Yep, I think for reals.
Wow. All right, got to see that one. It's going to be a